older sister, older cousin, something like that. I just thought that part was fun to point out because Isabel is such a big old fan, but she's like, I'm going to play this mean cousin up to the T, but then I'm really a big fan. Welcome back, everybody. This is Jim Jam here with another Is It Isekai anime review. Spoiler warning for you. And today we have, as you can see over here, Secrets of the Silent Witch. Secrets of the Silent Witch. I'm so happy this was a thing. It was so good and just a wonderfully done anime. And just right off the bat, I will say I relate to the main character. I too get shy. Not so much to the point that I can't talk because I've practiced my social skills, but I understand completely what is going on and taking a little shortcut, whatever, and then being like, oh yeah, I totally did that on purpose just to do the thing. And then everybody was like, oh yeah, you're great. Won't you get promoted to one of the strongest people in the whole country? No, I don't relate to that. No, I wish though. That would be amazing. Anyways, let's get to the actual anime. First of all, is it isekai? No, actually, it is not an isekai. Shocking, I know, because Jim Jam is watching it. But I will say that it was amazing. I didn't really get it when I read the synopsis of it. I was like, huh, okay, she's a shy young girl. We'll go with that because we don't know how old she is. I think she's still in her teens because she graduated early from the Magic Academy. Of course, there's a Magic Academy. And there's shockingly no, not racism, but classism, magicism, whatever you want to call it, too much in this society. Everybody just revels at the Seven Sages, and then everybody goes to school. So we haven't really seen too many non-magic people. We know there's like strife within the world between different countries. Obviously, that's a thing. The prince is there at the school. Of course, that's a thing as well in anime. They love their oligarchies. Monarchies, yeah, those are words. Princes and kings and queens and princesses and all those nobility stuff that they love so much in anime. But it's a class system based on that. The nobles go to the school, and the prince is there and needs protection. So I spoiled the whole plot for you. There you go. You can see dragons are there, and really strong magic is there. So basically, the main character is Monica Everett. So American English name? We'll just say English name. English name, very, very straightforward. She's very shy, so she comes up with chantless magic, and in this world, you need to do chanting magic. Seems to be a thing more recently in animes over the last couple seasons for some interesting reason. Well, that's been pretty prevalent in all of anime. You gotta chant to do magic. You gotta know your power phrases. Fist of the North Star, something like that. And then you get more power to it. But if you don't say it, then that's even more powerful because it takes less time. But you didn't have to do a chant, so it's not as powerful, but it's still powerful because you didn't chant. And it's very hard for people not to chant. And chantless is very special because everybody thinks you have to chant. Whatever anime you're watching. Depends on what it is, how they work that into there, because I will just tell you different animes run a little bit differently, which is weird how that works out with the chantless magic, but it's a common thing. And she goes in, Monica, back to school because she still looks like school age, even though she's graduated, to protect the prince who's been threatened his life there, that thing. And of course, she's still shy, so she didn't want to, but she was forced to go in there by the other barrier sage, Felix. Nope. What's his name? Hold on. I have his name. Luis. Luis is a big old jerk. Very a mage because he's making her go back because she's the only one that looks like a kid and nobody's actually seen her face or even heard her talk because she's really shy, which becomes a trope throughout the whole series that everybody revels the silent magician, silent witch, but mage, witch, warlock, whatever you want to call it in this kind of case. Because we care about names here. Anyways, nobody's seen her, and nobody would guess that that's her that does such powerful magic. But we'll learn over the course of the series that she has a lot of fans, even though they don't know what she's like, including the prince. Spoiled. You've been warned. And it's just funny. The whole entire time she does like OP, but she's acting like she's still, well, she's not really acting. she's showing her part of herself that's still a shy student throughout the whole entire thing. But she's still doing OP stuff because, of course, she's the Silent Witch and she's a 7th Sage. And she just does OP magic real quick, faster than anybody. She can do calculations in her head because she's a big lover of numbers. And for as far as we can tell, she's the only one that can use the chantless magic. So everybody's like really reveling in that fact. And it's interesting that other sages know who she is, but they don't do the chantless thing. Like, why wouldn't you just have her teach you how to do that? Anyways, each sage has their own specialty. Luis is a big old jerk, but he is the head barrier mage and can make barriers that are OP compared to everybody. But then Monica can just kind of rewrite them after she learns it after like 2 minutes. So that happens. Interesting. Monica Everett ends up being Monica Norton. Did she actually change her name? But anyways, Isabel Norton is the Count's daughter, Quebec, where Monica saved, as you can see in the video here, there's dragons over Isabel's country. So she gets Monica into the academy, even though she's a big fan. She acts like a big old bratty older sister, older cousin, something like that. I just thought that part was fun to point out because Isabel is such a big old fan, but she's like, I'm going to play this mean cousin up to the T, but then I'm really a big fan. But it's all part of the whole entire thing. It's just cute to see that she's a big fan of Monica, even though she has to play a mean noble in the beginning, but then she ends up saving Monica's butt. Not really repay. I don't know how you repay somebody for killing dragons over your whole kingdom and saving everybody. And then she does some really OP stuff and doesn't let them fall on the ground. She kills them, one-shots them. Look at them light beams all through the head, and then doesn't let them hit the ground. So pretty sick. So how do you repay somebody for that? You just treat him like a jerk. But we will see. There's a couple times where Isabel does her noble thing and gets Monica out of a pinch. And we realize that Monica doesn't know anything about noble stuff either. She just really likes her numbers and then somehow gets inducted into the student council, which is interesting. Yeah, she gets inducted into the student council where she gets to better protect the prince, which is also good. Yep, Prince Felix. And then we learn that Felix is a big old fan of the Silent Witch, but doesn't realize that Monica's who she is. And then Monica has to take a couple of tests. Dance test and then a chess tournament test. Sure, that one too. She goes back in and does her school thing. So she's like going back through school, even though she's been through school, doing social activities. That's what we do in anime. It's also cute because she had a little black cat. Of course they do, because she's a witch, so she needs a black cat named Nero, who can, by the way, take human form, which is adorable because he turns into like a human friend of hers, acts like a student in the school when she needs help, but Nero's the only one she can actually talk to because that's her familiar cat. So he tries to help her and comfort her when she's very shy. Paws to the face. Get them beans on the face. That's the one thing I wish was real in this anime. Can I just have a cat come up and put their toe beans, fuzzy beans on my face and like, beans. Oh, that'd be great. This cat just come comfort you and they just put, boop. It's like, oh, I feel better now. I would be de-stressed as well if there was a little cute black cat came and put their paws on my face. Oh, I'd be so allergic, but still, it'd be worth it. Just don't scratch me, which we know cats do. Certain cats. Oh, so messed up. But we have some betrayal as well in the series. Back to the actual show. I just reminiscing to cute kitties that are all friendly. Anyways, we'll go back to the show. Monica tries to make friends, and then one of her friends betray her. We're not even going to talk about that because it's so messed up, so jacked up. She makes a friend and ends up being a spy and tries to save her. Big jerk. I don't like her. But towards the end of the show, we do realize that she had a friend back when she was in regular school that kind of pushed her to do the chantless magic and get stronger. Bernie Jones, and he's an asshole too. Everybody's got regular names in the show, so I'm assuming it's based in some European country, as far as we know, because everybody's got like a regular names. English names. Freudian slip. Everybody's got English names, so easier to remember. I don't know. I'm terrible at remembering stuff anyway, so I'm still shocked. Bernie Jones ends up not liking Monica because she surpasses him, ends up being a sage before he can, so he gets all mad. But we still see that he's somewhat friendly, even though he's being an asshole to her. It's like, just can't be nice to your friend, big jerk. Anyway, there's some jerks in here. But as we know, in a school, magical school, There's some kind of hate just a little bit. But we will say most of the people in the student council are all pretty cool. So at least the people that are not spies in the school are nice. That part is good, at least. And everybody in the student council is cool so far, even though they're somewhat mean to her. But it's like, all right, you can only be so shy. You got to speak up sometimes, Monica. That's the whole entire thing. All right, so we already proved it's not an isekai, which is interesting, but it's still pretty good. Secrets of the Silent Witch. Hopefully we get a season 2. I would love to see what's going on and who is actually trying to kill Felix, the prince. And then how cute can Nero get? There's another thing we need to see. Does Monica end up making other friends? She made some kind of friends with some of the nobility there. But we'll see if there's more friends she can make. And then we want to know who's trying to kill Felix. Felix actually looks kind of cool. So why are you trying to kill Felix though? Why though? Why do it though? I guess we'll find out in season 2. Hopefully there is another one. But anyways, that's it for now. This is Jim Jam from Izzy Isekai, the podcast show, whatever it is. This is Spoiler Warning, the YouTube show. And hopefully you've been spoiled enough and then want to watch Secrets of the Silent Witch. Catch up with it. Don't read that manga. Because we don't do that around here. We watch animes. Sure, it doesn't really matter. But catch us next time. Bye.